Hello, hello. How are we doing today? Let's see. I'm online, but no one's here. Where is Lala? Hello, Lala. Hallo Thomas, grüße dich. Wir warten noch auf die Lala, die noch nicht da ist. Dann schreiben wir dir doch mal. Hello, hello. Yes, now she's there. Hola.
Hola, Abdur. How are you?
I'm very fine, and you?
I'm very, very fine. Ready?
Great.
Ready?
I am. You too?
Where are you? In Austria or in
No, at the
Switzerland?
moment I'm in Switzerland in my office.
In your office.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I am in Casa Seca. You know Casa Seca?
Well, you told me a lot about it and you showed me photos. Oh, I see. That looks fabulous.
Oh, sure. Let me show you. Many liters of metal.
Okay. And you know all the producers?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I produced in Puebla y en Guerrero. En
Okay,
la norte de los mezcaleros.
I see.
Okay?
Well,
And in Mexico, today, I shall only leave it very necessary because the situation of the COVID.
yeah,
Only very necessary for work sometimes or go to the market, you know.
yeah.
And now it's orange light,
Mm-hmm.
no red light, it's orange light. So
Okay.
with careful, only the necessary to leave the house, you know.
Okay.
And in Austria, what's happening now?
Well, you see, we had a tough time, but we opened up about 2 weeks ago, and maybe it's been too early. The cases are still going up, and I should have gone to London next week to judge, and that's all cancelled again because there is a quarantine when I come back from the UK, so it's not really looking that good. What about your side? You're still in lockdown, or?
Yes, lockdown. On so let's start to talk about missiles and
Let's go
many.
for the real stuff.
Yes,
May I ask you to introduce yourself to our guest?
yes. I'm Laura Noguera, but everybody calls me Lala. Okay, I'm from Mexico City, and I have an heritage of the producers of pulque in the state of Mexico, 2 hours of Mexico City, for the side of my mom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Produce pulque, and I'm producing pulque for all my generations. Okay, and I come from the maternal heritage for the side of my mom in Toluca. You know Toluca?
I
Or
heard,
not
yeah.
Toluca? Mm-hmm. Yes, but the pulque, and the pulque is the fermentation of the, how do you say, the meat, the leaves and the earth of the agave. You know, the pulque, and the pulque is it's an ancestral drink. It's the only ancestral drink in Mexico. No the mezcal. Okay?
Okay.
We have only 5 or 6 grades of alcohol. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I am a system engineer to the profession, but officially, for my passion, I am a teacher in spirits of agave in charanda. You know charanda?
Yes.
The charanda and pulque. And I know many chefs in Mexico. We collaborate with the chefs in Mexico.
Okay. And I
And
heard you're a cigar sommelier as well, are you?
yes, I studied in Cuba
Yeah.
and República Dominicana and in Honduras for 3
Okay.
years. 3 years ago. And I went to Mexico because years ago I had a serious accident, a work accident.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is my profession, to go on many cities around the world to in a show master classes
Yeah.
and tastes in hotels, in restaurants in Spain.
Okay.
And
So you said it comes from your mother's side,
yes,
and at the end, I mean, you mentioned your accident. How did you get into mezcal? Was it simply a decision, and then you went on, or have you had
no,
friends?
no, because I think, and now what happened then before my accident? I want to talk about coffee or no. Of pulque, okay?
Okay.
Pulque is my first pulque tasting in Mexico City, and everybody closed the door because the pulque now, you know. And then before I introduced me in the Mezcal, my first palenque, you know, what's palenque?
Yes.
Palenque is the factory, the little factory in Oaxaca and
Mm-hmm.
in Puebla. And in the north of Mexico, the factory is Vinata, winery.
Mm-hmm.
Winery. And
Okay.
in the west of Mexico is Taberna. It's different names, different
Yeah.
people, different producers. For example, in Oaxaca, it's a little maestros mezcaleros, like a hobby. And in the north, it's a very cold name, white skins, and it is
Mm-hmm.
very different in Mexico. And in Mexico, of the 32 states to contain the República Mexicana, Mexican Republic, 22 states produce many agave seeds. Like in tequila, it's a mezcal wine, called mezcal wine,
Mm-hmm.
mezcal of tequila, and mezcal, and bacanora from Sonora. And now the new denominación de origen, appellation of origin, raicilla, from the Occident in Mexico.
Yes.
It's Nayarit, Colima, and Jalisco.
I see. Okay.
But sotol is not of agave plant. It's a cousin of the agave, but it's not agave, the sotol. Produced in Chihuahua, and Coahuila, and Durango.
I see. Okay.
And Bacanora from Sonora, Mezcal is of 9 states of Mexico with
Mm-hmm.
appellation origin or denominación de origen Mezcal. Y la Tuxta is from Jalisco.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Rapino is from Veracruz. It's another spirit of agave without appellation of origin.
I see.
Okay?
Well, I mean, most people in Europe all know about tequila, and possibly all of them had their good or bad moment with tequila. And mezcal has lots of myths around, but it's not that well known in Europe. What was first? What is the history of mezcal? Was mezcal the name of all the products before they invented tequila, or is tequila a type of mezcal originally, or?
The tequila is another type of mezcal, okay? Because it's a mezcal wine
Mm-hmm.
sold in Mexico many years ago. Okay, but mezcal is the meaning of 2 words in Nahuatl or the Aztec idiom. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
metul, M-A-T-L, M-A-T-L, metul is plant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Ixcali is I-X-C-E-L-I, Ixcali means cooked, and
Okay.
it's cooked plant, mezcal.
See. Okay.
Yes, mezcal. But the history of the mezcal is when appears when the Spaniards come in and conquered Mexico, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and bring the first alambiques, still, okay? The first alambiques, but it's Arabian alambiques and Filipino style,
Mm-hmm.
you know the style, and concentrate in the occident of Mexico,
Yeah.
in Jalisco and in Colima. The first distillation is in Colima and in Jalisco.
Okay.
Then before in the center of Mexico and in the south. The first state in Mexico to produce mezcal is Oaxaca
Yes.
for the little climate and the more diversity of agave, you know.
I mean, it's a shame I'd never been there. I've been to Tequila, but I didn't manage to get to Oaxaca. But
What beautiful.
maybe next
Tamar,
time.
Oaxaca are the place.
I mean, people know quite a lot about tequila, and they know it's made of blue agave.
Ah, yes, yes. It's only from blue agave. Tequila is for one agave, blue agave.
The blue agave. What about mezcal?
What about the spot? Let's explain. Agave is the name for the scientific name of the plant. Okay, agave means admirable in Latin. Admirable.
Okay.
And maguey is a common name for the plant. For
Yes.
example, agave angustifolia Hall is maguey espadín.
I see.
Okay?
Okay.
It's two different words for the plant. If you want to say espadín, use maguey. No use agave. Okay?
Okay.
And for the tequila, it's one agave. Blue agave, variedad tequilana. Tequilana variety. It's only for the tequila.
Yeah.
Okay? For 5 states with the appellation of origin. Jalisco, Michoacán, Guanajuato, Tamaulipas, and Nayarit. Because tequila in Nayarit and Tamaulipas, but many people know only tequila in Jalisco.
Okay.
And for the mezcal, use 65 different varieties of agave.
Okay.
And species into the agave plant. For example, you have the mezcal cósmicos, no? You have the madrecuich. You have madrecuich. It's maguey madrecuich.
Okay.
Agave Carguinci. And the Carguinci has many different types of maguey. Picuí, you have picuí in your table, I see.
It's over there.
Picuí, cuis, madrecuich, cereal, barrel, tripon, many names for the carbon of carbon.
Okay. And I believe they all taste different when distilled.
I can hear you.
They all taste different when distilled. So
Yes.
the product of the agaves tastes different.
Yes, different as the agave in Mexico. But the most important is Oaxaca for the diversity of the agaves and microclimates. And it's very representative in the world, more Oaxaca than Durango or Tamaulipas to produce mezcal also, but in Mexico, the production of the mezcal is for exportation. The 80% is for exportation at USA.
Okay.
And the Mexican people drink only the 10% in Mexico. Because the first drink to consumer, the Mexican, is whiskey.
I see.
65 millions of liters in Mexico, consumed the Mexican per year.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
And then before the gin, rum, and cognac, and then before tequila, mezcal, and the king is beer.
We've been told when we've been down to Mexico 3 years ago that people in Mexico drink quite a lot of Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
Is that yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And Scotland whiskey. Scotland whiskey. No from the United States. Only Scotland.
That's quite a long way. So most people associate mezcal with being smoky.
No. Okay, yes, it is smoky because the process is cooked into the land
Hmm.
for 8 days.
Is
Okay?
that part of the cooking process? Is that only with mezcal?
Yes, it's a specificity of the method.
Hmm.
Smoky. But too much smoky is an back process of the maestro mezcalero.
So it shouldn't smell like burnt rubber.
No, no,
No.
no, no. Because because many mezcals, when you smell the mezcal and the first note is a bacon, too much
Hmm.
bacon, it's a bad process
Okay.
of the maestro mezcalero. Now,
I
let me introduce as one maestro mezcalero to come at Mexico City, the community at 8 hours of Mexico City in the mountains.
no.
Yes, come on. Let me introduce to my friend. My friend is from Guerrero, and he produced Indomito. It's
Okay.
sweet. Now,
Hi. How are
Hello.
you?
How are you doing today?
Okay. Good enough.
Ja, guten Abend, guten Abend. Hallo.
Oh, let me introduce me. I am thanks to Lala for inviting me, and let me this chance, this opportunity to talk about mezcal in general, and of course our mezcal. No?
of your
Yes.
community in Guerrero.
We produce in the mountains, really in the mountains, high to 2,000 meters over level sea. This is one of the important data because the agave needs high and the high gives another kind of note and aroma.
Hmm.
We produce with a different species to agave. We agave, we use agave cupreata, nose, maguey papalote, or papalomes, or papalome.
It's another variety in Guerrero. Guerrero is, you know, Acapulco?
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
Acapulco is in Guerrero.
It's in Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Okay.
Explain it.
Our process is traditional. It's Lala says something about. Our cooking process is in a ground hole.
Hmm.
This is cooking. Before we select the agave, we're doing a selection of agave for each brand that we produce. After this selection of agave, we cook it in a ground oven. There's a hole in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, at least 5 to 8 days.
Hmm.
This process is important because this characteristic, this process gives this smoky note. Yeah. So basically,
So like the good cooking.
the good cooking, basically the mezcal, we make one division. The smoky process in the south, Oaxaca, Michoacán, Puebla, Guerrero.
Hmm.
The most of the producers, we use this ground oven. That is the reason because the most of the mezcal in the south or southwest have the smoky note. And another mezcal from Guanajuato, San Luis Potosí, Durango.
Use another process
Use
in
another-
a mamposteria. You know the mamposteria? It's like a room
Yeah.
with steam.
Okay.
And that kind of process doesn't have this smoky nose. This is one of the differences. After that, after the 8 days of cooking, we mash the agave because the name, as Lala says, the name of Mezcal means cooked agave. Mashed, we mash the agave, and after we put in a vat of wood, basically our vat of wood, with this mashed agave and water. And we have to wait the fermentation process. This is the fermentation process. At least depends on the
age of the climate.
Depends on the climate, the temperature, at least during 3 or 4 days in this batch of goods.
But
Okay.
for the of Fernando is in the category of traditional, because in Mexico has 3 different categories for produce mezcal. Ancestral, don't use any animal, for example.
Yeah.
Don't use alambique, copper steel.
Yeah.
You only use clay pot. You're only clay pot for the ancestral process.
Okay.
And use for the fermentation bull skin, for example, bull skin.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
May I ask a question at that point? You said you go straight into fermentation. Do you add cultured yeast? Or is it natural yeast?
It's natural yeast.
It's natural. So-
It's indigenous yeast.
Okay. Is there something like formulación at tequila? Or do you take the whole thing?
No, it's different because in tequila it's industrial process. All the process is industrial in the tequila.
Okay, so you take everything you cooked into fermentation,
Yes.
including the fibers, everything.
Yes, that's right.
I see.
It's a traditional process. The difference with tequila is the tequila is more industrialized process. Yeah, they mash with a machine the agave, extract the juice, and that juice,
And put the chemical yeast.
some chemical process.
Okay.
For the flavors and aromas.
Yeah.
Tequila. Tequila is very, no?
Very, it's very same.
Very
The taste, there is no difference between one producer and another producer. One of the, I think, the fabulous of the world mezcal is this a lot of variety of the difference between producers of the same region. I could say in Oaxaca, you could find one mezcal from one producer and a different taste and different notes on another producer. This is wonderful because we have a lot of variety. That is fine for everybody.
See, and the maestro mezcalero is like a chef.
That's right.
You know, like a chef.
This is an important word because in mezcal we say cooked. We don't use this word process. Cooked. That is really the master of mezcal with the producers, the artisanal producers. It's true. Cooked the agave.
Okay.
And this is a similarity with the chef.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons because every mezcal is different.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it could be marvelous.
And every family has the different process.
And a recipe.
It's the heritage.
The heritage, the recipe, the way of...
The historical taste is in its taste, you know?
Mm-hmm. So how important is the duration of fermentation? Is that short and fast? Or is it long?
10 days, no?
Depends again of the climate. It could be from 3 days until
10 years.
10 days. 10 days. And this is another variation because if we have fast fermentation, the outcome is one result. And same with the beer. No? If you have a long fermentation, different days, different notes, and if this is not good or bad. It's just different. That's that diversity, and depends on the climate.
And they get
So yours must be longer than others if you're such high on such high altitude.
Yeah. This is one reason. Yeah, you are highest. Maybe it's colors, maybe it's a template. No, it's
Is there
temperature.
is there a flavor impact depending on the duration?
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the passions. Lala say a lot of the different notes and aromas of mezcal. We need to deep into in this process to identify what are the impacts. But the impacts are really good.
Yeah, sure.
Aroma, different, particular, identity, the recipe, the heritage is really wonderful because at the same with the beer, the long fermentation is different with a short fermentation or faster fermentation.
Or use another product for the accelerated fermentation. For example, in Michoacán, use pulque into the mosto of agave in the fermentation. Put
Okay.
a little pieces of pulque to accelerate the fermentation. And the aromas and flavors is very different. You know?
And there's another way, it's a natural method to accelerate the fermentation and, of course, the impact and the flavor, taste, and aroma is different. It's different. Yeah?
Wow.
What is, for us, in this mezcal world is really different because each producer has an identity.
But it's a compendium of the knowledge.
This is a compendium of traditional knowledge.
That they don't know kids do in our university, for example. Well, me no. I'm learning with the maestros mezcaleros.
Oh well, of course. I mean, that's with us as well. I mean, the father passed it to the son, and the son to his son. That's nothing you can learn. It's cool.
Yeah, right. These are artisanal process, and it's really, really, really. Well, for us, it's amazing. It's amazing because this knowledge. It's a liquid history of the many men and women living in our communities, indigenous communities, actually. Rural communities. It's not like me or you. It's indigenous communities.
Okay. I mean, you said you told me about the cooking, and you told me about the fermentation. You go to distillation. What kind of pot stills do you have? Is it? I think it's double distillation, isn't it? Distilled twice.
Yeah.
Right. Distillation.
Yeah.
Distillation and 3 for the pechuga, for the breast of any animal.
That's why at least two distillation is a rule. Yeah, for
in a puto and copper steel.
Copper steel. There are in this process we have a lot of variety. We use in some time the copper alembic. We use another variation. We use the down part of the alembic, the copper down part, but in the upper part we can use wood.
Yep.
A part of wood, we can use a part of barro. Or barro. We can use another kind of ground, yeah, like a pot, but yeah. And this is combination, or we can use every system with this kind of pot of ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're quite open.
Yeah, it's quite it's quite open between this kind of different variations.
I mean, not the pot still is open, but your choice is quite open. What you use as a top.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And this juice, of course, has an impact in the flavor.
Yes.
And enrich the taste You know, if you use alambic copper alambic,
Yeah.
we have a kind of flavor and tasting and notes and aroma.
But you need to control the temperature of the water, no?
That-
the condensation.
Yeah, that's right. While duration kills the fire, we use
But no control in the situation.
We need to control, but we don't have machines.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't use gas. We use another tank for the heat. We use wood. Yeah, and we have to control the fire for the copper alambic or for this system of the pop gram and the temperature of the water.
Yeah. The temperature of the water.
The problem of the water. If we have water and this fluid constantly, we control the temperature, the template temperature or estimate.
Of course.
That's right.
Aromas and flavors.
And another kind of variety is we have to change this water. If the water heated, we have to change this water for cold water, and this process is constantly repeated.
What is the problem, Marco, for the indigenous community? Don't know the control of the temperature.
Well, I believe it's a little bit like in the rural Scotland, in old distilleries, where they divert small rivers to go through the distillery for cooling.
That's right, it's the same case. Yeah, we need...
And use the turba, no?
Yeah.
The turba, no? In the
So
old
you have warm taps or you have modern condensers? Warm condensers, okay. Lala, you said each family has its own recipe. Is it that each family only produces one mezcal, or do they produce variety of different products?
Depends on what, how many different varieties in the agave in our land of the market.
Okay.
But the most important is the padín and tobalá, for example, because the wild agave will control the plantation.
Okay.
You know? For
But
example, the pestate is an older nature in the agave, no?
That's right.
And if you put the hijuelo, the little agave, with their hand, the little hijuelo, yes, in their hand.
okay. How much impact is the agave, and do they? I mean, you told me perfectly what all of work you carry out. If you make several different mezcal, is there a house style, or is each completely different?
It's different. It's very different.
So you don't have a house style which goes back to your knowledge of distilling, to the pot, to the kind of fermentation. It's really totally different.
Yes, the base of the agave,
Depends on the agave,
the sugar, the stain, the piña, the size of the agave, you know.
the quantity of sugar of this agave, depends on a lot of factors. But if I understand your question,
Yes.
The agave is the most important element.
Yes.
Okay.
And for sure, what impacts the agave age, the cook, because well, the selection of agave, the higher, the mature, that is two factors that impact the flavor.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same, use a lot of mature agave or unmature agave, that will impact the outcome.
Yes, from 8 to 35 years to make sure of the agave.
Yeah.
And the Mezcalaro waits for the agave when it's ready, the agave, you know. And it's ready when the agave le falta el qué, ¿cómo se dice?
Put out this tail, this long
The
tail,
flower.
and the flower.
Lala, you made it possible to have some mezcal to taste.
Yes.
Should we try some?
Yes,
Do you want to carry me through these wonderful bottles I got?
yes. I think to first with the Sabine.
This one.
¡Eh! Agave cósmico, Mezcal es cósmico. Demetrio say me the cosmical witch, like a Janis Joplin. Okay.
Wait a second. There just came a question in which asks, do they mature their mezcal in casks? It does have a light color, and you told me how old this is. So it must be either old or very big casks.
No, no es con casi, ¿no? Con barriles, with barrel.
Yeah. Do you mature the mezcal in barrels?
No, you distill the mezcal
Mhm.
and put it in the bottle immediately. No?
Okay.
If you repose, you obtain this color because put your mezcal in the barrel of the wood of French wood, American
Okay.
different spots.
Okay.
But in Mexico it's joven. Okay. Bueno, pues vamos a hablarlo.
Never too early to drink.
Never.
It's never too early, is it?
Yeah.
Never
Which
too early.
which time is it at your end? 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 10 in the morning.
What is the difference?
This hope for me is very well for smell.
I mean, I'm prepared for later. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Would translate into something like this,
It's like that.
or something like this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But in the veladora, no, please. In veladora, no.
No, of course.
And no in jicara. And no in jicara. Please, everybody. No in jicara and no in veladora, please.
What is that on in your right hand? What is that? No. The other thing that. Yeah. Is that wood?
It's a pumpkin.
It's a kind of pumpkin.
It's a kind of pumpkin.
I see. Okay.
In the population.
Mm-hmm.
And for use the veladora.
It's a small base. It's not recommended.
So in this case of the mezcal, you have a espadín. You start with the okay. You start with espadín of 49 grades of alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good graduation of alcohol. Okay, and I smell in four times to follow the clock hour.
The clock time.
At 12 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. It's different aromas.
Is it?
Yeah. For example, at the 12 it's neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 o'clock, it's more cooking agave. It's like a pumpkin. Popcorn cook.
Pumpkin cook.
And the 6 o'clock, it's more sweetie. And you shake it water only. No beer, please. Sweet.
So mezcal is always 100% agave.
Pardon me?
Mezcal is always 100% agave.
Yeah. This is one of the differences between a mezcal and tequila.
Yes.
So mezcal, it's a rule, it's a law, 100% agave.
Yes.
Mezcal, not necessarily.
I mean, this smells gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the vegetables, root vegetables, and that light smokiness. And it has a distinct sweetness on the palate as well that comes through.
Yes. And more salivate when you smell in the middle. You smell when you saliva a little bit. 4 seconds. And now smoking. And then before,
I see. Okay.
the nose, in the nose is the smoking, and in the mouth is flavor.
It is, and it's lots of flavors.
Now,
Something looking at the bottle. I mean, Europeans tend to think there needs to be a worm inside. It doesn't, huh?
no.
A worm?
No, without worms. No.
But that's what that's what most Europeans believe.
No, I don't like with worms.
Because it gives the right belief.
Yeah.
Not a path.
But why do some of the distillers do that?
It's no, the history is an merchandise.
Yes, for a Japanese seller consumer in Mexico City.
Or for U.S. consumer.
No, for the Japanese needs a worm into the bottle.
Yeah.
It's the same history that tequila most of the people drink with lemon, salt, and salt.
No.
It's not necessary.
No. I know. That's something only the tourists know and the students.
And it's the same with the worm.
People once asked me, is it because it's so much protein and it's good for the man's health? And I said, no, I don't think so. Because if you drink the bottle, you don't need the worm anymore.
Only use the worm into the taco.
Okay. If we move on, you said the next one is quiche.
Quiche. Oh, I love the quiche. Please taste the quiche. It's a agave carwinchi because the pineapple, grows outside of the land.
Yeah.
It's like a tree, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tree.
That's right. Between the different kinds or species, really are species of agave. Carwinchi is not ground close of the land. You know, Carwinchi grow all like a tree.
Okay.
This is one of the differences. It's the same species, but it's the same family. It's a family. If we talk about biology, it's the same family, but it's a different species.
And it's most approaches with the sun, no?
And in some regions, but it's one of the differences between agaves.
But in the past, the producers don't use the carwinchi.
It's also slightly different in the nose. There is a distinct meatiness. Is that right? Meatiness?
Yeah, or like a green chili, for me. It's a green chili.
Okay.
Or
Maybe lactic.
maybe lactic.
Yeah,
Maybe lactic.
Europeans tasting. Yeah.
I didn't want to say that because most people think that's negative. But yeah, there's a slightly lactic touch to it, yeah.
Lactic nose, no?
Like
Lactic nose.
I mean,
Like a cheese.
I have two different. You said picuiche and then madre cuiche. What is the difference? Is it only the agave? No, this is also made from Karavinsky.
Is the soul of the agave?
is the soul of the highest of the agave and the region.
Madre cuiche is very high agave.
Okay, but it's the same agave variety?
The same agave variety, yes.
Yeah.
The family. It's the same family. But this is son of the family.
But this is much more delicate compared to the other one.
Absolutely.
Really,
Yeah,
really.
bravo. The idea.
Come on.
And the difference is that this species of agave is one of the species of agave that takes more time to get mature.
Okay.
If you're drinking Massachusetts, we say that you are drinking at least 20 years.
20 years.
20 at least.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. And this is one of the differences between mezcal and all the spirits
in the world.
in the world.
I get it. So these years you mentioned, is it takes the agave to ripen? It's
That's right.
not actually the age of the product, but the age the agave takes to ripen. Wow. Goodness me.
Yeah, and the plant sacrifice is like so that you to drink, I mean, it's already, no?
Yeah, that is one of the characteristics. If you are drinking one plant that dies, completely dies. This is the difference between the whiskey. If you say a grain recipe or age of whiskey with 15 years, 20 years, in this agave,
Yeah.
take this same 20 years, burn into the wine.
Born old by the tree. Yeah, born old. No? All over the time that sugar passes in your heart. No? For example, the bottle says Mezcal joven.
Yep.
You see, Mezcal joven. It's joven is young.
Yeah.
Mezcal young. But it's wrong. I think to say old mezcal for the time to pass the plant mature.
But commonly it's drank young, traditionally.
It's commonly because the process of distillation say that the distillation is young. Yeah. One of the differences is in the second distillation,
You part
yeah, and you can taste the mezcal.
Okay.
The difference between whiskey, you cannot taste the whiskey in the second distillation.
Yes, and the maestro mezcalero see the bubble and say, have specified way to alcohol only for observation because have a venencia, put the mezcal into the killer and use the venencia.
It's the same with the wine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, mejor ponle la cámara así. Okay, ahora sí.
So is that a traditional method?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's why you need that.
Explain the type of bottle.
Okay.
Observation gives an idea of the alcohol rate.
Okay. Well, you showed me that ancient method. Tell me, Lala, that is an ancient method to drink it. Actually, what is the right way to enjoy mezcal? Is it neat? Is it in cocktails?
Alone, please. Alone. Yeah.
Okay.
Alone.
On its own. A little.
You drink water, only water.
A little bit water.
Orange without salt.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's alone to drink the mezcal, you know. But if you want a cocktail, use only the saline. No, use the white agave. You know.
Yep.
Because the saline have a lot of salines in Mexico.
In the world.
And but the madre cuis, the textate is a few.
A tiny production. It's a tiny production. The condition, the mature of agave doesn't allow to have a big production.
Okay.
A really you that you are drinking with a madre cuis or big cuis. Or the pescate.
The tepestate, you have a tepestate, no?
Pardon?
But if you have a bottle of tepestate.
Yes.
Tepestate, 35 35 years old.
Yeah, it's
To
another
my cure. And
another
it's
marvel.
very complex. It's very complex in aroma.
It is. It is.
Really,
I mean,
really.
of course,
You
this
have
is something you sip.
no sé, no sé.
Pardon me?
I said this is.
Pardon?
That's okay. I said this is something you only drink neat in small sips. So
A little bit.
That's
okay.
fine.
And
Well,
the cocktail is very well defined only, no? You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And you use a juice of orange or lemon or
Mm.
mandarina or pineapple. For example, I made this handshake with coffee and agave saline.
okay.
And you ready for drinking like Emmanuel? And this is, for example, this is a mezcal with coffee.
Okay.
Obtain the flavors and aromas in the pre-distillation with coffee.
Okay.
We drink the coffee, yeah? And ready to drink.
Oh goodness me!
It's delicious. I think you have big box.
Cheers. Thank you so much for your time, Lala. It was a pleasure seeing you, and hopefully we see us for the next concours.
I hope to travel to Europe as soon as possible.
Yeah.
With the condition of the virus or in the concourse in the pre-selection.
Absolutely. It would be a pleasure seeing you, and if not, latest next year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure giving me such insights. I know lots more now about Mezcal. And salud.
Salud, and enjoy your mezcal of the Mezcal Cósmico. Thank you, as friends of Agave Cósmico, to send you the bottle.
Yeah,
And I send you many greetings and your family, Arthur.
absolutely.
And enjoy your mezcal tonight with your friends.
I will.
And stay safe, please. Salud.
Thank you very much. Salud. Bye bye.
Good night.
Gute Nacht.